The main dashboard contains several reports providing status of the different activities that are being handled during a release. We can see current overdue milestones. We can see items that are holding up the process that are bracketed out in timeframes of greater than or less or equal to 30 days, 60, 90, and 120 days. We can see open exit criteria, activities, so a wide variety of things on this homepage. And each of these options will provide drill down into the content of what that graphical report represents. In addition to these graphical reports, we also have a timeline view. The timeline view represents all of the active release trains or trains that are in a particular user's area of concern against a calendar. And we can see that the first release train up at the top has already completed, but we have 4 that are in flight. We're going to be working with the last release train that we see here called Oracle ERP. This shows some different pieces of data to provide status without having to drill in any further into the report. The first of which being the planned versus actual dates. The planned dates are indicated with the thick line that we see moving across the calendar. The thin line is the actual dates. So this current release train that we're looking at is slightly behind schedule, as we can see the purple bleeding into the blue segment of the graph. In addition to the dates, we are also tracking the stage gates or the exit criteria and the milestones that are required for the release train. So these are all represented with different icons, as we can see here on the graphical view. Expanding the release train, we can get an idea of how many days are remaining. We have 31 days remaining, and then we also see the actual release packages that will be delivered on that release train. We have one here, and we can see the dates when it is scheduled to be in deployment. So there's a lot of data that we can gather right from this single view of the timeline looking at our release trains.